The Masculine, Reclaiming Primal Masculinity in Modern Society. Introduction. In the tapestry of human existence, masculinity stands as a vibrant and essential thread woven through the fabric of civilization since time immemorial. Yet in the modern era, we find ourselves at a crossroads, a juncture where the very essence of masculinity is called into question, diluted, and often maligned. This audiobook serves as a clarion call, a resounding echo through the corridors of contemporary society, urging men to reconnect with their primal nature and harness the raw power that lies dormant within. As we embark on this journey together, dear listener, prepare to challenge the prevailing narrative, a narrative that has, perhaps unwittingly, sought to domesticate the wild spirit of masculinity. We stand now at the precipice of a new understanding, one that does not shy away from the intensity and vigor that have long defined the masculine experience. Drawing inspiration from the profound insights of Friedrich Nietzsche and his concept of the will to power, we shall explore how this fundamental drive can be reclaimed and refined in our modern context. But make no mistake, this is not a regression to brutish behaviors or untempered aggression. Instead, we advocate for a nuanced and powerful expression of masculinity, one that balances primal energy with wisdom, strength with compassion, and ambition with purpose. Throughout this audiobook, we will delve into the key aspects of this reclaimed masculinity, examining how it can manifest in various facets of life, from personal growth and physical challenges to spiritual practices and interpersonal relationships. You, the listener, are invited to open your mind and heart to these ideas, to question deeply held beliefs, and to consider a path that may at first seem daunting or controversial. For in embracing the fullness of your masculine nature, you unlock the potential for a life lived with greater intensity, purpose, and fulfillment. Let us begin this exploration by first understanding the landscape of modern masculinity and the forces that have shaped it. Only by recognizing where we stand can we chart a course towards a more vibrant and authentic expression of the masculine spirit. Chapter 1. The Domestication of Men in Modern Society. As we cast our gaze upon the state of masculinity in the contemporary world, we are confronted with a troubling reality, a reality in which the very essence of manhood has been subjected to a process of domestication, a taming of the wild and vital energies that once defined the masculine experience. This domestication, while perhaps well-intentioned, has led to a crisis of identity and purpose among men, leaving many adrift in a sea of uncertainty and diminished vitality. Consider, if you will, the modern man, often trapped in the confines of sterile office environments, his days dictated by the rhythms of technology and the demands of a society that values compliance over courage, comfort over challenge. The primal drive that once propelled men to explore uncharted territories, to test the limits of their physical and mental fortitude, has been relegated to the realm of fantasy or nostalgia. In its place, we find a cult of weak feelings, a pervasive ethos that prioritizes a tepid existence over the burning intensity of genuine masculine expression. But what has led us to this point? How have we allowed the flames of masculine vitality to be so thoroughly doused? The answer lies in a complex interplay of social, cultural, and economic forces that have reshaped our understanding of manhood over the past century. Industrialization and technological advancement, while bringing undeniable benefits to society, have also served to distance men from the physical challenges and direct engagement with the natural world that once defined masculine pursuits. The hunter, the warrior, the explorer, these archetypes have been replaced by the office worker, the digital native, the consumer. In this transition, something vital has been lost, a connection to the raw, elemental forces that once shaped masculine identity. Moreover, societal norms and expectations have shifted dramatically, often in ways that constrain rather than liberate masculine expression. In our well-meaning attempts to create a more equitable and peaceful world, we have sometimes overcorrected, casting traditionally masculine traits such as assertiveness, competitiveness, and stoicism in a negative light. The result is a generation of men who find themselves caught between conflicting messages, urged to be strong yet vulnerable, assertive yet accommodating, ambitious yet content with their lot. The educational system, too, has played a role in this domestication process. From a young age, boys are often taught to suppress their natural inclinations towards physical play, risk-taking, and spirited competition. Instead, they are molded to fit a standardized model of behavior that prioritizes docility and conformity over the expression of individual will and the testing of personal limits. While education is undoubtedly crucial, we must question whether our current approaches are truly serving the developmental needs of young men. In the realm of relationships and social dynamics, men find themselves navigating an increasingly complex landscape. Traditional roles have been rightfully challenged, but in their wake, a void has emerged, a lack of clear models for how to embody a strong, positive masculinity that complements rather than competes with evolving gender dynamics. This uncertainty has led many men to retreat from the challenge of defining their masculine identity, instead adopting a passive stance that neither serves them nor society as a whole. The impact of this domestication extends far beyond the individual, reverberating through the very foundations of society. We see its effects in declining rates of entrepreneurship and risk-taking, in the crisis of meaning that plagues many men, and in the erosion of the strong social bonds that once characterized male friendships and mentorship relationships. The consequences are manifold, from personal dissatisfaction and a sense of unfulfillment to broader societal issues such as the decline in civic engagement and the weakening of community ties. Yet amidst this somewhat bleak landscape, there exists a growing awareness, a recognition that something essential has been lost and must be reclaimed. It is this awakening that forms the foundation of our journey through this audiobook. For in understanding the forces that have shaped modern masculinity, we gain the power to consciously redefine it, to forge a new path that honors both our primal nature and our highest aspirations. As we move forward, we will explore how to rekindle the fires of masculine vitality, how to challenge the constraints imposed by society, and how to cultivate a form of masculinity that is at once powerful and refined, intense and balanced. The path ahead is not an easy one. It demands courage, introspection, and a willingness to confront deeply ingrained patterns of thought and behavior. But for those who dare to undertake this journey, the rewards are immeasurable. A life lived with greater purpose, passion, and authenticity. In the chapters that follow, we will delve into the specific aspects of reclaiming primal masculinity, from embracing strong emotions and seeking out challenges to reconnecting with our inner warrior and refining our spiritual practices. Each step of the way, we will challenge you to push beyond your comfort zone, to question assumptions, and to tap into the wellspring of masculine energy that lies within. Remember, dear listener, that the goal is not to reject all aspects of modern life or to revert to an idealized past. Rather, it is to integrate the primal masculine energies with the wisdom and knowledge we have gained through centuries of human progress. In doing so, we can forge a new paradigm of masculinity, one that is both timeless and thoroughly adapted to the challenges of our era. As we conclude this first chapter, take a moment to reflect on your own experience of masculinity in modern society. How have you felt the effects of domestication in your own life? What aspects of your primal nature have you suppressed or neglected? And most importantly, are you ready to embark on the challenging yet rewarding journey of reclaiming your masculine essence? The path ahead is one of transformation, of rediscovery, and of empowerment. It is a path that will demand much of you, but one that promises rewards beyond measure. So steel your resolve, open your mind, and prepare to reconnect with the powerful primal force of masculinity that resides within you. The journey begins now. Chapter 2: The Importance of Strong Emotions and Intense Experiences. In our quest to reclaim the essence of primal masculinity, we must confront a fundamental truth that has long been obscured by the veneer of modern civility: the vital importance of strong emotions and intense experiences in the life of a man. For too long, society has championed a neutered version of masculinity, one that shuns the tempestuous seas of powerful feelings in favor of calm, predictable waters. But in doing so, we have robbed men of the very fuel that propels them towards greatness, towards self-discovery, and towards a life lived with unparalleled vigor. Consider, if you will, the great men of history, the conquerors, the visionaries, the revolutionaries. Were they not driven by passions so intense that they could scarcely be contained? Did they not harness the raw power of their emotions to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles, to push beyond the boundaries of what was thought possible? From Alexander the Great's burning ambition to Michelangelo's consuming artistic fervor, the annals of history are replete with examples of men who dared to feel deeply and intensely. Yet in our modern era, we find ourselves adrift in a sea of tepid emotions, our feelings dulled by the constant barrage of superficial stimuli and the societal pressure to maintain an even keel at all costs. We have been taught to fear our strongest emotions, to view them as dangerous or uncontrollable forces that must be suppressed rather than channeled. But in this suppression, we lose touch with the very essence of what it means to be alive, to be vital, to be truly masculine. The time has come to cast off these shackles of emotional restraint and to embrace the full spectrum of human feeling with a fierce and unapologetic intensity. For it is in the crucible of strong emotions that a man's character is forged, his will tempered and his spirit ignited. Let us first consider the role of anger, that most maligned of emotions in our modern discourse. Society would have us believe that anger is a destructive force, something to be avoided at all costs. But is this not a grave misunderstanding of a powerful tool in the masculine arsenal? When channeled properly, anger can be the spark that ignites the fires of justice, the driving force behind necessary change, the energy that propels a man to stand up against tyranny and oppression. Think of the righteous anger of Martin Luther King Jr. as he confronted the injustices of his time, or the controlled fury of a skilled martial artist as he faces an opponent. These are not examples of weakness, but of strength, a primal force harnessed and directed towards noble ends. Similarly, we must reconsider our relationship with fear. In our comfort-obsessed society, we are taught to avoid fear at all costs, to seek safety and security above all else. But in doing so, we deny ourselves the growth that comes from confronting our deepest anxieties. The man who never faces his fears remains forever a boy, stunted in his development and limited in his potential. It is only by stepping into the arena of our greatest terrors that we can truly test our mettle and expand the boundaries of our capabilities. Consider the rock climber as he scales a sheer cliff face, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Or think of the entrepreneur as he risks everything on a bold new venture, knowing full well the possibility of failure. These men do not seek to eliminate fear from their lives, but rather to dance with it, to use its energy as a catalyst for growth and achievement. And what of love, that most profound and transformative of human emotions? In our cynical age, we have often reduced love to a mere biological impulse or a convenient social arrangement. But the love of a man in its fullest expression is a force of nature, a tsunami of feeling that can reshape the very foundations of his world. It is the love of Odysseus for Penelope that drives him to overcome impossible odds and return home after decades of wandering. It is the love of a father for his child that can instantly transform a self-centered individual into a paragon of selflessness and sacrifice. To feel love in its most intense form is to touch the very face of the divine, to transcend the mundane and glimpse the infinite. Yet how often do we allow ourselves to be truly vulnerable, to open our hearts fully to the possibility of such overwhelming emotion? In our fear of pain, we often close ourselves off from the very experiences that could elevate our existence to new heights. But it is not enough merely to feel these emotions. We must also seek out the intense experiences that give rise to them. In a world increasingly dominated by virtual realities and secondhand experiences, there is a pressing need for men to engage directly with the raw stuff of life, to immerse themselves in situations that demand their full presence and push them to their limits. This could mean pursuing physical challenges that test the boundaries of your endurance, scaling a mountain, running an ultramarathon, or learning the disciplined art of a martial craft. It might involve seeking out aesthetic experiences of breathtaking beauty or soul-stirring power, standing in awe before the majesty of nature's grandest vistas, or losing yourself in the transcendent strains of a masterful symphony. For some, the path to intensity may lie in the realm of creativity, pouring your soul onto a canvas, shaping raw materials with your hands, or giving voice to the ineffable through poetry or music. Others may find their crucible in the world of competition, whether in the realm of sports, business, or intellectual pursuits. The specific arena matters less than the intensity of engagement, the willingness to invest oneself fully in the experience at hand. It is through these intense experiences that we come to know ourselves most fully, that we discover the depths of our capabilities and the true nature of our character. In moments of extreme challenge or profound beauty, we strip away the layers of social conditioning and stand naked before the truth of our existence. It is here, in these crucible moments, that we forge our authentic masculine identity. But let us be clear. The pursuit of strong emotions and intense experiences is not an end in itself, nor is it a license for reckless or destructive behavior. The goal is not to become a slave to our passions, but rather to develop the capacity to feel deeply while maintaining mastery over our responses. This is the essence of true emotional intelligence, not the suppression of feeling, but the ability to experience the full force of our emotions while channeling them towards constructive ends. As we cultivate this capacity for intensity, we must also develop the discernment to choose our battles wisely, to invest our emotional energy in pursuits and relationships that are worthy of our full engagement. For the man who squanders his passion on trivial matters or unworthy causes diminishes himself and the power of his feelings. In embracing the importance of strong emotions and intense experiences, we reconnect with a fundamental aspect of our masculine nature that has long been neglected. We reclaim our birthright as men, the capacity to feel deeply, to live boldly, and to engage with the world around us with unwavering intensity and purpose. As we move forward in our exploration of primal masculinity, let this embrace of emotional and experiential intensity serve as a foundation for all that follows. For it is from this wellspring of powerful feeling and direct engagement with life that we draw the energy to pursue our highest ambitions, to face our greatest challenges, and to become the fullest expression of our masculine potential. In the chapters that follow, we will explore how this reclaimed intensity can be applied to various aspects of life, from the pursuit of ambition and personal growth to the cultivation of physical prowess and spiritual depth. But for now, dear listener, I challenge you to reflect on your own relationship with strong emotions and intense experiences. How have you allowed society's expectations to dampen your emotional fire? What areas of your life are crying out for a greater investment of passion and intensity? The path of the primal masculine is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage, commitment, and a willingness to feel life in all its raw, unfiltered glory. But for those who dare to walk this path, the rewards are beyond measure, a life lived with unparalleled richness, depth, and authenticity. Are you ready to embrace the storm of your strongest emotions? Are you prepared to seek out experiences that will push you to your very limits? The choice is yours, and it is a choice that will define the course of your journey towards reclaiming your primal masculine essence. Chapter 3: Ambition and Personal Growth. In the grand tapestry of masculine virtues, few threads shine as brightly or weave as intricately through the fabric of a man's life as ambition. It is the fire that burns in the belly of great men, the relentless force that drives them to scale the heights of achievement and to leave an indelible mark upon the world. Yet in our modern era, ambition has become something of a dirty word, associated with greed, selfishness, and a ruthless disregard for others. But this, dear listener, is a grave misunderstanding of one of the most powerful and transformative forces available to us as men. True ambition, in its purest form, is not about the accumulation of wealth or the domination of others. It is rather the expression of a man's deepest desire to actualize his potential, to bring forth into the world that which exists within him as seed and possibility. It is the yearning to create, to build, to explore, to discover, to push beyond the boundaries of what is known and comfortable into the vast, uncharted territories of human capability and achievement. Consider, if you will, the great ambitions that have shaped the course of human history. The ambition of explorers like Columbus and Magellan, who dared to sail beyond the edges of the known world. The ambition of visionaries like Leonardo da Vinci and Nikola Tesla, whose imaginations gave birth to inventions that would revolutionize human society. The ambition of leaders like Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, who dreamed of freedom and justice in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. These men did not pursue their goals out of a petty desire for personal gain, but out of a profound sense of purpose and a belief in their capacity to effect meaningful change in the world. It is this kind of ambition, rooted in a deep sense of purpose and aligned with one's highest values, that we must reclaim and cultivate as men in the modern world. For without ambition, we risk falling into a life of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential, never knowing the heights we might have reached or the impact we might have had. But how do we cultivate this noble form of ambition in a world that often seems to reward conformity and complacency? The answer lies in a committed and ongoing process of personal growth, a relentless pursuit of self-improvement and self-actualization that forms the bedrock of a truly ambitious life. The journey of personal growth begins with self-knowledge. As men, we must have the courage to look unflinchingly into the mirror of our own souls, to confront our strengths and weaknesses, our fears and desires, our values and beliefs. This process of self-examination is not for the faint of heart. It requires a willingness to face uncomfortable truths and to challenge long-held assumptions about ourselves and the world around us. One powerful tool for gaining this self-knowledge is the practice of regular self-reflection. Set aside time each day to sit in quiet contemplation, to journal your thoughts and feelings, to examine your actions and their consequences. Ask yourself the hard questions. What do I truly want from life? What are my deepest values and beliefs? What are the patterns of thought and behavior that hold me back from achieving my full potential? As you gain clarity about who you are and what you want, you can begin to set ambitious goals that align with your deepest values and aspirations. But remember, true ambition is not about achieving external markers of success as defined by society. It's about setting goals that resonate with your authentic self and push you to become the fullest expression of who you can be. When setting these ambitious goals, do not be afraid to dream big. The truly ambitious man does not limit himself to what seems easily achievable or socially acceptable. He dares to envision possibilities that others might dismiss as unrealistic or impossible. Think of Elon Musk's ambition to colonize Mars, or Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of racial equality in a deeply segregated America. These goals may have seemed outlandish when first articulated, but it was the very audacity of the ambition that gave them their power to inspire and mobilize. However, ambition without action is mere fantasy. The ambitious man must be willing to back up his dreams with relentless effort and unwavering commitment. This is where the real work of personal growth begins, in the daily discipline of pushing beyond your comfort zone, acquiring new skills, overcoming obstacles, and persistently moving towards your goals despite setbacks and failures. One key aspect of this growth process is the cultivation of a growth mindset, as articulated by psychologist Carol Dweck. This is the belief that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. The man with a growth mindset sees challenges as opportunities for learning and improvement, rather than as threats to his ego or self-image. He understands that failure is not a reflection of his worth as a person, but a valuable source of feedback and a stepping stone to eventual success. To foster this growth mindset, seek out challenges that push you to the edge of your current capabilities. If you're comfortable with public speaking, sign up for a competitive debate tournament. If you've mastered one language, start learning another. If you've conquered a marathon, set your sights on an ultramarathon. The specific challenge matters less than the attitude you bring to it, a willingness to struggle, to fail, to learn, and to grow. Another crucial element of personal growth is the expansion of your knowledge and skills. The ambitious man is a lifelong learner, constantly seeking to broaden his understanding of the world and to acquire new capabilities. Read voraciously across a wide range of subjects. Attend lectures and workshops. Seek out mentors who can guide you in your areas of interest. In today's digital age, there's no excuse for intellectual stagnation. The world's knowledge is at your fingertips, waiting to be explored and assimilated. But knowledge alone is not enough. True personal growth requires the integration of what you learn into your daily life and behavior. This is where the power of habit comes into play. As you identify areas for improvement in your life, develop concrete habits that will move you incrementally towards your goals. Want to become a writer? Commit to writing 500 words every day, no matter what. Aspire to be a leader in your field? Make it a habit to read industry publications for an hour each morning. These small, consistent actions, performed day after day, week after week, have the power to transform your life over time. It's important to note that the path of ambition and personal growth is not always a smooth or easy one. You will face obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. There will be times when the gap between where you are and where you want to be seems insurmountably wide. It is in these moments that the true mettle of a man is tested. The ambitious man does not shrink from these challenges or use them as an excuse to abandon his goals. Instead, he sees them as opportunities to develop resilience, creativity, and determination. He understands that every obstacle overcome, every setback surmounted, adds to his strength and capability. In the words of Friedrich Nietzsche, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. This resilience in the face of adversity is a hallmark of true masculine ambition. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before successfully creating the light bulb. Or consider Abraham Lincoln, who endured multiple political defeats and personal tragedies before rising to become one of America's greatest presidents. These men did not allow failure to define them or deter them from their ambitions. Instead, they used each setback as fuel for their determination and as a valuable learning experience. As you pursue your ambitions and commit to your personal growth, it's crucial to maintain a balance between striving for future achievement and finding fulfillment in the present moment. The ambitious life is not about constantly deferring happiness to some future date when your goals are achieved. Rather, it's about finding joy and satisfaction in the process of growth itself, in the daily discipline of moving towards your vision. This balance also extends to your relationships and responsibilities to others. True ambition is not selfish. It recognizes that our greatest achievements often come through collaboration, mentorship, and service to something greater than ourselves. As you grow and achieve, look for ways to lift others up along with you. Share your knowledge, offer guidance to those who are just starting their journey, and consider how your ambitions can contribute to the greater good of your community and the world at large. In this vein, consider expanding your ambitions beyond personal achievement to encompass a vision for positive change in the world around you. What mark do you want to leave on your community, your society, or even on human civilization as a whole? How can your unique talents and passions be leveraged to address the pressing challenges of our time? This kind of expansive, world-changing ambition is the hallmark of history's greatest men. Those who dared to dream not just of personal success, but of a better future for all of humanity. As we conclude this chapter on ambition and personal growth, I challenge you, dear listener, to take a hard look at your own life. Are you living up to your full potential? Are you pursuing goals that truly excite and inspire you? Are you committed to the ongoing process of growth and self-improvement? If the answer to any of these questions is no, now is the time to reclaim your masculine ambition. Dare to dream big. Set audacious goals that align with your deepest values. Commit to the daily discipline of personal growth. Embrace challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and strengthening. And above all, never lose sight of the incredible potential that lies within you, the potential to achieve greatness, to make a meaningful impact, and to become the fullest expression of your masculine self. Remember, the path of ambition and personal growth is not an easy one. It demands courage, persistence, and a willingness to face your fears and limitations head-on. But for those who dare to walk this path, the rewards are beyond measure. A life of purpose, achievement, and continuous evolution towards your highest self. As we move forward in our exploration of primal masculinity, let this commitment to ambition and personal growth serve as a foundation for all that follows. For it is through the pursuit of our highest aspirations and the continuous expansion of our capabilities that we tap into the deepest wellsprings of masculine power and potential. In the next chapter, we will explore how this drive for growth and achievement can be complemented by the cultivation of physical prowess and the embracing of challenge and danger. For the truly masculine life is one that engages not just the mind and spirit, but the body as well, in a holistic journey towards self-actualization and mastery. Chapter 4. The Need for Challenge, Danger, and Initiation in Male Development. In the coddled comfort of our modern world, we have lost sight of a fundamental truth that our ancestors understood implicitly, that true manhood is not given, but earned. It is forged in the crucible of challenge, tempered by the heat of danger, and crystallized through the transformative power of initiation. Yet in our well-meaning attempts to create a safe and nurturing environment for our boys, we have inadvertently robbed them of the very experiences that are essential for their development into strong, capable, and resilient men. Consider, if you will, the rites of passage that have marked the transition from boyhood to manhood in cultures throughout history and across the globe. From the vision quests of Native American tribes to the grueling initiations of African warrior societies, these rituals share a common thread. They push young men to the limits of their physical, mental, and emotional endurance. They force them to confront their fears, to prove their worth, and to take their place among the ranks of adult men. In contrast, what markers of manhood does our society offer to young men today? A driver's license at 16, the right to vote at 18, the ability to purchase alcohol at 21. These arbitrary age-based milestones pale in comparison to the profound, transformative experiences that once ushered boys into manhood. Is it any wonder, then, that we see so many men today struggling with a sense of aimlessness, unsure of their place in the world, and uncertain of their own capabilities? The time has come to reclaim the power of challenge, danger, and initiation in the development of men. This is not a call for recklessness or unnecessary risk-taking, but rather a recognition that growth and strength are born from adversity. As Nassim Nicholas Taleb argues in his concept of anti-fragility, some things actually benefit from shocks, volatility, and stressors. The human body and mind are prime examples of this principle. They grow stronger when exposed to appropriate levels of stress and challenge. So how do we reintroduce these essential elements into the lives of men in a world that increasingly prioritizes safety and comfort above all else? The answer lies in intentionally seeking out and creating experiences that push us beyond our comfort zones, that force us to confront our fears, and that demand the best of our physical, mental, and emotional resources. For some, this might mean pursuing extreme sports or outdoor adventures, activities that bring us face to face with the raw power of nature and the consequences of our decisions. Picture a man scaling a sheer rock face, his life literally hanging by his own strength and skill. Or imagine a solo wilderness trek, where every decision can mean the difference between survival and disaster. These experiences force us to be fully present, to trust in our capabilities, and to take responsibility for our actions in a way that few other activities can match. But the pursuit of challenge and danger need not always involve physical risk. Intellectual and creative pursuits can be equally demanding and transformative when approached with the right mindset. Consider the entrepreneur who risks everything on a bold new venture, or the artist who bears his soul through his work, exposing himself to criticism and rejection. These two are forms of danger and challenge that can forge stronger, more resilient men. The key is to approach these challenges with the mindset of initiation, to see them not just as isolated experiences, but as transformative rituals that mark our growth and development as men. This might mean creating our own rites of passage, either individually or as part of a community of like-minded men. These modern initiations could take many forms: a grueling physical challenge, a period of isolation and reflection, or a project that pushes us to the limits of our skills and creativity. Whatever form these challenges and initiations take, they should share certain key elements. 1. They should push us beyond our current limits, forcing us to grow and adapt. 2. They should involve an element of risk or potential for failure, teaching us to face our fears and handle adversity. 3. They should require preparation and commitment, instilling discipline and focus. 4. They should ideally be witnessed or validated by a community, reinforcing the transformative nature of the experience. 5. They should culminate in a clear marker of achievement or transition, providing a sense of closure and new beginning. By intentionally incorporating these elements of challenge, danger, and initiation into our lives, we not only foster our own growth and development as men, but we also set an example for the next generation. We show our sons, through our actions, that manhood is not a given, but a status to be earned through courage, perseverance, and a willingness to push beyond our perceived limitations. As we move forward in our exploration of primal masculinity, let us embrace the transformative power of challenge and initiation. For it is through these experiences that we discover the depths of our capabilities, forge unshakable confidence, and earn our place among the ranks of men who have tested themselves against the crucible of adversity and emerged stronger for it. Chapter 5. Reconnecting with one's inner warrior through physical and mental challenges. As we delve deeper into the reclamation of primal masculinity, we encounter a powerful archetype that has been all but lost in our modern, civilized world, that of the warrior. To be clear, we are not speaking here of the narrow, militaristic definition of a warrior, but rather of the inner quality of strength, courage, and readiness to face life's battles that has been a cornerstone of masculinity throughout human history. The warrior archetype represents our capacity to fight for what matters, to protect those we love, to stand up for our principles, and to face adversity with unwavering resolve. It is the part of us that refuses to back down in the face of challenge, that pushes through pain and fatigue, that rises to meet whatever obstacles life throws in our path. In our comfortable, convenience-oriented society, many men have lost touch with this essential aspect of their nature. We have become soft, risk-averse, and all too willing to avoid conflict at any cost. But in doing so, we have sacrificed something vital, the fierce aliveness and sense of purpose that comes from fully embodying our warrior nature. The good news is that this inner warrior is not lost, merely dormant, and it can be awakened and strengthened through intentional engagement with physical and mental challenges. Let us explore how we can reconnect with this primal aspect of our masculinity. Physical challenges. The body as a crucible. The warrior tradition has always placed great emphasis on physical prowess, and for good reason. Our bodies are the vehicles through which we interact with the world, and developing our physical capabilities not only enhances our ability to meet life's challenges, but also forges mental toughness and self-discipline. Consider the following avenues for physical challenge. 1. Martial arts. Few activities embody the warrior spirit as fully as the martial arts. Whether you choose boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or traditional disciplines like karate or kung fu, martial arts training offers a holistic approach to developing warrior qualities. You'll build strength, agility, and endurance while also cultivating focus, discipline, and the ability to perform under pressure. 2. Endurance sports. Activities like long-distance running, cycling, or triathlons push the limits of human endurance and teach valuable lessons about perseverance and mental toughness. There's a reason why many cultures have used long-distance running as a rite of passage. It requires not just physical stamina, but also the mental fortitude to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Number 3. Strength training. The simple act of progressively lifting heavier weights is a powerful metaphor for overcoming life's challenges. Each time you step up to the bar and lift more than you did before, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth and progress. The discipline required to consistently show up and push your limits in the gym can spill over into other areas of your life. 4. Outdoor adventures. Activities like rock climbing, whitewater rafting, or wilderness survival courses put you in direct contact with the raw power of nature. These experiences not only test your physical capabilities, but also force you to confront fear, make critical decisions, and rely on your own resources in challenging situations. Mental challenges. Forging the warrior's mind. While physical challenges are crucial, the true warrior understands that the greatest battles are often fought in the mind. Developing mental toughness, strategic thinking, and emotional resilience are equally important aspects of cultivating your inner warrior. 1. Meditation and mindfulness. At first glance, Sitting quietly might seem at odds with the warrior archetype, but many warrior traditions, from the samurai to the Spartans, have incorporated meditation practices. By training your mind to remain calm and focused amid internal and external chaos, you develop a powerful weapon for facing life's challenges. 2. Strategic games. Chess, Go, and other complex strategy games can help develop the warrior's mind. These games teach you to think several moves ahead, to anticipate your opponent's actions, and to make tough decisions under pressure, all skills that translate well to real-life challenges. 3. Public speaking. Few things trigger our fear response like standing before a crowd and speaking. By deliberately putting yourself in this uncomfortable situation, whether through joining a group like Toastmasters or volunteering for presentations at work, you train yourself to perform under pressure and to face your fears head-on. Number 4. Cold water exposure. Practices like cold showers or ice baths might seem like mere physical challenges, but they are as much about mental fortitude as physical endurance. The ability to voluntarily step into discomfort and remain calm is a powerful exercise in mental toughness. 5. Fasting. Periodically abstaining from food for extended periods, under proper guidance, can be a profound way to develop mental discipline and to reconnect with your body's primal rhythms. Many warrior traditions have incorporated fasting as a way to cultivate clarity of mind and spiritual strength. Integrating the warrior spirit. As you engage with these physical and mental challenges, it's important to approach them with the right mindset. This is not about proving your toughness to others or indulging in macho posturing. Rather, it's about reconnecting with a vital aspect of your masculine nature and developing qualities that will serve you in all areas of life. The true warrior understands that strength is not an end in itself, but a means to be of greater service to others and to live a life of purpose and integrity. As you develop your warrior qualities, consider how you can use your strength to protect the vulnerable, to stand up for what's right, and to be a positive force in your community. Remember also that the warrior is just one aspect of the fully developed man. It must be balanced with other qualities: the lover's compassion, the king's wisdom, the magician's insight. But for many men in our soft, comfortable society, it is the warrior energy that is most lacking and in need of cultivation. As you embark on this journey of reconnecting with your inner warrior, be patient with yourself. Like any worthwhile endeavor, this is a process that takes time and consistent effort. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt. But with each challenge you face, each fear you confront, you are rekindling that primal fire that has fueled men to greatness throughout history. In our next chapter, we will explore how this rekindled warrior spirit can be tempered and refined through the cultivation of balance, learning to harmonize intensity with gentleness, strength with compassion. For the truly masterful man is not a slave to his primal energies, but a skilled conductor, able to call forth and direct these powerful forces in service of his highest purpose. Chapter 6. The balance between gentleness and intensity in masculine expression. As we continue our journey into the heart of primal masculinity, we arrive at a crucial juncture, the intersection of intensity and gentleness. It is here, in the harmonious balance of these seemingly opposing forces, that we find the true mastery of masculine expression. The primal masculine energy we have been cultivating throughout this audiobook, the fierce determination, the warrior spirit, the ambitious drive, is a powerful force indeed. But unchecked, it can become destructive, both to ourselves and to those around us. The truly masterful man understands that this intensity must be balanced with an equally powerful capacity for gentleness, compassion, and nurturing. Consider the metaphor of a samurai warrior. In battle, he is the embodiment of controlled ferocity, his every movement a deadly dance of skill and power. Yet this same warrior, when not engaged in combat, is capable of exquisite gentleness, arranging flowers in the art of ikebana or writing haiku poetry with delicate brushstrokes. This ability to move fluidly between intensity and gentleness, to embody both the fierce and the tender, is the hallmark of a fully realized masculine expression. In our modern context, this balance might manifest in various ways. 1. In relationships, it means being able to provide both strong protection and tender nurturing. It's the capacity to be an immovable pillar of strength when your partner needs support, but also to show vulnerability and gentle affection. 2. In leadership, it's the ability to make tough decisions and drive hard toward goals, while also showing empathy and care for those you lead. Great leaders know when to push and when to nurture, when to demand and when to support. 3. In personal growth, it's about pushing yourself relentlessly toward your goals while also practicing self-compassion and patience with your own journey. 4. In conflict resolution, it means standing firm in your principles while remaining open to understanding and compromise. It's the strength to hold your ground, coupled with the gentleness to seek peaceful resolutions. Cultivating this balance requires conscious effort and practice. Here are some ways to develop both your capacity for intensity and your ability to express gentleness. 1. Practice mindfulness meditation to develop greater awareness of your emotional states and the ability to modulate your energy consciously. 2. Engage in both high-intensity physical activities like martial arts or competitive sports and gentler practices like yoga or tai chi to embody different energetic states. 3. Challenge yourself to express vulnerability and tenderness, especially if these are uncomfortable for you. Share your feelings openly with trusted friends or loved ones. 4. Learn to listen deeply and empathetically, giving others your full attention and seeking to understand their perspectives. 5. Cultivate your creative side through art, music, or writing, allowing for a more nuanced expression of your inner world. Remember, the goal is not to suppress your primal masculine energy, but to refine it. Like a master swordsmith tempering a blade, we seek to create a masculinity that is both strong and flexible, capable of great power, but also of exquisite precision and gentleness. Chapter 7. Critiques of Modern Spirituality and a Call for More Vigorous Practices. As we delve deeper into the reclamation of primal masculinity, we must turn our attention to the realm of spirituality. For too long, modern spiritual practices have veered towards the passive, the purely contemplative, and the disembodied. While these approaches have their place, they often fail to engage the full spectrum of masculine energy and experience. Many contemporary spiritual teachings emphasize surrender, acceptance, and the dissolution of ego. While these are valuable concepts, when taken to extremes, they can lead to a kind of spiritual bypassing, a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and developmental needs. For men seeking to embrace their full masculine potential, this can be particularly problematic. It can lead to a suppression of healthy aggression, ambition, and the will to act in the world. It can create a false dichotomy between spiritual growth and worldly engagement, leaving men feeling torn between their spiritual aspirations and their natural drive to achieve and create. What we need, then, is a more vigorous, embodied, and engaged spirituality, one that honors the primal masculine while also transcending mere ego-driven pursuits. Here are some key elements of such an approach. 1. Embodied practices. Rather than seeking to escape the body, we should embrace physical practices that bring us into deeper communion with our corporeal selves. This might include ecstatic dance, breathwork, or tantric practices that unite the physical and the spiritual. 2. Warrior spirituality. Drawing inspiration from traditions like the Buddhist Shambhala teachings or the spiritual warrior concept found in many indigenous cultures, we can cultivate a spirituality that embraces courage, discipline, and engaged action in the world. 3. Sacred masculine archetypes. Exploring and embodying archetypes of the sacred masculine, the king, the warrior, the magician, the lover, can provide a framework for integrating spirituality with masculine power and purpose. 4. Psychospiritual integration. Rather than using spirituality to bypass psychological work, we should seek practices that integrate psychological healing with spiritual growth. This might include shadow work, archetypal psychology, or transpersonal approaches to therapy. Ecstatic and transformative experiences. Instead of always seeking calm and tranquility, we should also make space for ecstatic, transformative spiritual experiences. This could involve plant medicine ceremonies, where legal and under proper guidance, intensive retreats, or other practices that push us to the edges of our normal consciousness. 6. Engaged spirituality. Our spiritual practice should fuel our engagement with the world, not our retreat from it. This means finding ways to bring our spiritual insights into our relationships, our work, and our communities. 7. Nature-based spirituality. Reconnecting with the raw power of nature can be a profound spiritual practice. Vision quests, wilderness retreats, and other nature-based practices can help us tap into the primal masculine while also fostering a sense of connection with something greater than ourselves. By embracing a more vigorous and engaged spirituality, we can bridge the gap between our primal masculine nature and our highest spiritual aspirations. We can cultivate a spirituality that empowers us to act in the world with purpose and integrity, rather than seeking to escape from worldly concerns. Chapter 8. The Value of Aspiration and Desire in Personal Development. In our final chapter, we turn our attention to a force that has been both celebrated and vilified throughout human history: desire. In many spiritual and philosophical traditions, desire is seen as the root of suffering, something to be transcended or eliminated. Yet desire, when properly understood and channeled, can be one of the most powerful engines of personal growth and self-actualization. The key lies in distinguishing between unconscious craving and conscious aspiration. Unconscious craving, the endless pursuit of fleeting pleasures or external validations, can indeed lead to suffering and stagnation. But conscious aspiration, the deep, intentional longing for growth, achievement, and self-realization, can be a catalyst for profound transformation. Consider the great achievements of human history, the works of art that move us to tears, the scientific discoveries that reshape our understanding of the universe, the social movements that bend the arc of history toward justice. All of these were born from a deep, burning desire to create, to know, to improve. For the man seeking to reclaim his primal masculine energy while evolving towards his highest potential, cultivating healthy aspiration is crucial. Here's how we can harness the power of desire in our personal development. 1. Clarify your deepest desires. Take time to reflect on what you truly want, not just on a material level, but in terms of the man you want to become, the impact you want to have, the life you want to create. Let yourself dream big, beyond the limitations of your current circumstances or self-concept. 2. Align desires with values. Ensure that your aspirations are in harmony with your core values and your sense of purpose. Desire in service of a greater good is far more fulfilling and sustainable than purely self-serving ambitions. 3. Embrace the journey. Understand that the value of desire lies not just in achieving goals, but in who you become as you pursue them. Embrace the growth, learning, and self-discovery that come from wholeheartedly pursuing your aspirations. 4. Cultivate desire. Mindfully, practice being with your desires without immediately acting on them. This creates space for discernment and allows you to channel your energy more intentionally. 5. Use desire as fuel. Let your aspirations energize you, driving you to take consistent action towards your goals. Use the power of visualization and emotional engagement to stay connected to your desires. 6. Practice non-attachment. Paradoxically, while fully embracing your desires, also practice non-attachment to specific outcomes. This allows you to pursue your goals with passion while remaining flexible and resilient in the face of setbacks. 7. Desire for the benefit of all. Expand your aspirations beyond personal gain to encompass the welfare of others and the world at large. This not only gives your desires more meaning, but also aligns them with the highest expressions of masculine purpose. By reclaiming the power of healthy desire and aspiration, we tap into a primal force of masculine energy, the drive to grow, to achieve, to become more than we are. When integrated with the other aspects of primal masculinity we've explored, the warrior spirit, the balance of intensity and gentleness, the commitment to challenge and growth, this force of aspiration can propel us towards the fullest expression of our masculine potential. Conclusion: embracing the journey of primal masculinity. As we come to the end of our exploration of primal masculinity, it's important to recognize that this is not an endpoint, but rather the beginning of a lifelong journey. The reclamation of our masculine essence is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked with intention, courage, and commitment. Throughout this audiobook, we've delved into various aspects of primal masculinity. We've explored the importance of ambition and personal growth, challenging ourselves to set audacious goals and commit to ongoing self-improvement. We've recognized the need for challenge, danger, and initiation in male development, understanding that true manhood is earned through facing and overcoming adversity. We've delved into ways of reconnecting with our inner warrior, cultivating strength, courage, and resilience through physical and mental challenges. We've examined the delicate balance between intensity and gentleness, learning to embody both fierce power and tender compassion. We've critiqued modern spirituality and called for more vigorous, embodied practices that honor our primal masculine energy. And finally, we've reclaimed the power of aspiration and desire as fuel for our personal evolution. As you integrate these teachings into your life, remember that the path of primal masculinity is not about regression to an idealized past or a rejection of the positive aspects of modern society. Rather, it's about reclaiming the vital masculine energies that have been suppressed or forgotten and integrating them with the wisdom, knowledge, and ethical considerations of our time. This journey will challenge you. It will demand that you step out of your comfort zone, confront your fears, and push beyond your perceived limitations. There will be moments of doubt, of struggle, of seeming failure. But it is precisely in facing these challenges that you will grow, that you will discover the depths of your capabilities and the true nature of your masculine essence. Remember, too, that while this path is deeply personal, it need not be walked alone. Seek out communities of like-minded men who are also committed to this journey of reclaiming their primal masculinity. Share your experiences, support each other's growth, and hold each other accountable to your highest aspirations. As you move forward, let your reclaimed masculine energy be a force for good in the world. Use your strength to protect the vulnerable, your ambition to create value for others, your warrior spirit to fight for what is right and just. Let your masculinity be a gift to yourself, to your loved ones, to your community, and to the world at large. In closing, I challenge you to fully embrace this journey of primal masculinity. Dare to be all that you can be. Dare to feel deeply, to live intensely, to love fiercely. Dare to face your fears, to pursue your highest aspirations, to stand strong in your convictions while remaining open to growth and learning. The world needs men who are fully alive, men who have embraced both their primal power and their highest potential. As you step into this fullness of your masculine nature, you become a beacon for others, a living example of what is possible when a man commits to the path of authentic, primal masculinity. This is your journey. This is your birthright. This is your time to reclaim the primal masculine and to forge it into a force for transformation in your own life and in the world around you. The path lies before you. The choice to walk it is yours. What will you do with this one wild and precious life? The primal masculine within you awaits your decision. The time to act is now.